What's up, guys and girls? I figured I'd show you guys how I do board games for FBA, for packing them, wrapping them, getting all the pieces ready. Everyone has different ways, just kind of the way I do it. Maybe you can pick some things up that you like. Maybe you have your own way of doing it that's better. If you have a quicker or better way, let me know in the comments. I'm always interested in how other people do things. But yeah, this is basically how I do it, how I get set up. You know, it works for me. It might not work for you guys. Find out what works for you. But this seems to be one of the quickest methods for me. So yeah, we'll get into her. I'll show you how I get board games ready. So when I'm getting board games ready, or anything for Amazon, first thing, keep your work area clean. I have my labels, which you'll need. Some of the other things you'll need are little baggies. So I got my little ones. These are for board game pieces, dice, cards, things like that. Next size up, more little sealable baggies. You just peel the strip off. I will use those for larger cards, if there's more pieces, Monopoly money, stuff like that, or some of the game instructions. Next size up from there. This will work for small board games, or again, instruction manuals or a little bit bigger items. And then from there, yeah, these bags, they're a little thicker. They'll sometimes be used for the boards themselves. They really work good for Trivial Pursuit boards. If the board's too big, I won't wrap it. And then next is sort of that size. So basically I have a few sizes in bags for multiple FBA shipments. I had a couple more too. You'll kind of figure out what sizes you need and don't need. I actually got to get a size that's one more up from there. And then next thing, I hate using this stuff, but shrink wrap. Actually, this isn't shrink wrap, this one's stretch wrap. You can buy a seam sealer with shrink wrap. I've used one. It makes life way easier. I really suggest it. But if you don't have the money yet, this works, or if you're not looking to spend it, because a good seam sealer will run you a fair bit of money. So this is basically how we do it. So I'll take my game. I'll make sure there's no none of that. The Goodwill stickers. If someone buys a game for 40, 50 bucks, they don't want to see that you paid $1 or $2 from the Goodwill or garage sale or wherever it is. A lot of this is from garage sale haul. So first I'll take those stickers off like you saw. If there's any tape. People like to pull it like this to try and break it. Don't do that. Don't peel it up either, because you risk ripping all this off and you don't want to damage the board game, especially if it's an older board game. So just have a little X-Acto knife or something that you can cut right through this. So I thought I'd give you guys a little bit of a closer view of how I do it. So this one, as we were saying, still has the tape. So an X-Acto knife comes in handy. Just a quick cut. I just leave that tape on there unless it can come off real easy. Even board game collectors, they would rather see this tape than you rip off the artwork. So, open it up. Check them at the Goodwill to make sure they look fairly complete. But basically, if you go through, that's the French one. If you go through the instructions, this one says right here, I don't know if the camera picks it up, equipment, deck of 90 playing cards, 38 feed with master cards, 36 point cards, 16 special parking cards, 32 second chance cards, 4 parking meters and bases, and a card tray. So, basically go through 1, 2, 3, I only see 3, 4. So there's your 4 parking things. I grabbed this one because, it's not even fully opened yet. So, and I've already counted this. I know this one's good, but basically, there's the card holder, cards, little trays. So yeah, when it looks good like that, basically what I'll do is get my bags, check your different sizes. So see that poly bag's gonna fit that nice. So, shove that in there. Fill that off. This box here is my jump box. Throw it in there. Those things stick to you like crazy. Drives me nuts from all the static. Oh, someone messaged me on Kijiji. So there's that. Like that already looks nicer when you open it up. The person selling this put the elastics around it. I don't suggest doing this. I don't like it because it starts to bend the corners here and put indents, and it warps the cards, and you really don't want that happening. So take those off. Try to avoid doing that. Yeah, it's quicker. It's probably cheaper. But, you know, I'm big on presentation. I find presentation's everything. So I like to stick to it this way. And again, like I said, this might not work for you. This might be, you know, you might have a different way. Maybe you went out and spent money on a seam sealer, so you're just ripping through these quick and shrink wrapping them, and they're looking like the factory sealed. If that's the case, awesome. If this information isn't helping you, maybe you've been doing this for a while. But if you're starting out and you're getting into board games, this is a good way to pack board games. I used to save a bit of money to order these without the strip until I found out trying to tape them every time is a waste of time, right? And time's money. You can't get time back. Just if you can optimize your time for better efficiency, you know, that's key in your business. So, you know, I'll pay the couple cents more per poly bag for the self-sealing ones. So this one, you know, using a big one again because it won't fit in the small one. I just fold them all the way over. Make sure you fold them the right way, I guess. So that's sealed up. Little cards. Grab a little baggie. This is why staying organized is key. All my baggies are laid out nice so I can grab them as I need. I'm not looking for them. I'm not sorting through them. Nothing like that. Sometimes, you know, there's a bit left over, whatever, that's fine. Just as long as you fold it over fairly nice and tight in there. Mind you, this is where having a seam sealer would be nice because you can make your own size bag, so I could have made that fit perfectly. And, you know, it would have been sort of a lot tighter. If you want, you can put a piece of tape and fold it like that. I just usually fold it and stick it in the holder. Sometimes when cards get real thick, they might not fit in these. You might have to separate them into two bunches. We'll see. Haven't tried this yet, so it might just rip. If it's not gonna go, don't force it in. You don't want to bend the cards. And I mean, whatever. If you rip a baggie, you rip a baggie. That should fit. Sometimes it works if you split it. Stick the first half in. I'm trying to shove a bit more in. And see how much she'll take. That feels like it's going to put it at limit, so I don't think we're going to fit all these in. Maybe. Like I said, don't. Yeah, see. I'll bend it. I'm forcing it in too much. So, when that's the case, like I said, you can either double it up with two bags, or grab a bigger bag like this. And just put them sideways. Like so. Because this will definitely fit them all. So, you know, get them in there. Try and get them somewhat straight. Fold it around. Boom, done. That goes in there. All we have left is these, just the stands. So we'll see if they pack in here nice. Come on, turn sideways. Normally this would go a lot quicker, but I'm trying to show you guys and sort of explain how I do it. Trying to make sure I stay in the frame when filming, so it makes it a little more time consuming. But that goes in. You know, and like I said, this is why it's key having a couple different size bags. It just it looks nice. You don't have to fight with a bigger bag or smaller bags, or you end up ripping bags trying to squeeze them in. The box that you're throwing those tags in, rub it with a balloon or other plastic. You'll build up a static charge so that these, as you can see, will just stick to it as you throw them at it. So you don't ever have to worry about it coming undone. Now, see, now when the customer gets it, they're going to open it, they're going to see these bagged, they're going to see these bagged. It's just presentation. You could probably even bag this too. I'm not going to do that. The card holder. And then, boom, box is back on. There it is. It's complete. It's good. So, then we move into saran wrapping it, the part that I hate. So let me go grab this wrap. So, saran wrap, I'm standing up for this part. Usually my wife will help me with this part because I hate this more than any part of packing an Amazon shipment. This makes me want to buy a seam sealer. But basically, fold it around. Give her a good push. Stretch it on there. X-Acto knife. I cut on this table because it's just a shitty table. Fold those around. Fold that in. Stretch that up and around. Fold that in. Stretch that up and around. There you go. And then just a little bit of tape on there. And this is what I meant about staying organized. I don't see my tape because I didn't bring it out, so I will be right back with tape. So there you go. That's it all taped up. I just basically ran tape around the side. I'll tape these down too because they're sticking up. And then my barcode goes over their barcode. And then I put a suffocation label on. I don't have barcodes or suffocation labels with me. Well, I have unprinted ones, but I don't have them with me because I'm not done this shipment yet. I just want to show you guys. That's what the suffocation label looks like. Stick one of them on. This is already good to go as well. And that's about it for packing board games. Now, the advantages of doing board games are they're really cheap to buy. The value is really underestimated at garage sales and thrift stores. You can still pick them up at a Goodwill for $3 or less and sell them $30 and up if you know what you're looking for. It's pretty foolproof because you just scan the barcode or look up the game, and if it's a price point that you like, that you're willing to make money at, you buy it. If not, you set it back down on the shelf. Now, it's a pretty good return on investment because, like I said, you're not spending a lot out. So if you're new to Amazon or eBay or just starting out on FBA, it's a good thing to get into. They do good on eBay too. I prefer Amazon. It gets them out of my hair, gets them off my shelves, and frees up space for me. And I tend to get a little more on Amazon over eBay for the most part. There's some rarer games that I've put on eBay and done a little better on. But yeah, I really suggest getting into board games if you're starting out. It's a good idea. It's cheap. It's easy to do. A downside to it though, there's so many pieces and you got to go through them all. You got to count them all. You got to bag them all as you saw. You got to wrap it. You got to tape it. Sometimes you get games that aren't complete, and it's harder to ship in a bunch to Amazon for cheap. You could ship in 100 CDs in a small box or 100, 200 video games in a box or two. You're not going to do that with board games. You're not going to send in 200 board games in a box. You get anywhere from 8 or less, maybe sometimes 10, depending on the box you're using. So that is a bit of a downside on it. You don't get a lot of returns though. I've never had a board game return. Electronics, you'll get tons of returns if you're into electronics. Board games, if you're smart, you count them, you make sure they're complete, you shouldn't get any returns, especially if you describe them properly. It's just kind of the way it goes. I'm trying to think of what else I could tell you about board games here. That's about it when you're sending them into Amazon. The things you're going to need to do it would be your scissors, your X-Acto knife like you saw, tape, suffocation labels, which I'll leave you links, but I get those off uline.ca because I'm in Canada. You can go to uline.com if you want them from the US. Your shrink wrap, you'll need to scale boxes, a printer. The labels are 30 sheets per label. It's easy for me to do that. If you have one item, multiples of one item, then like a thermal printer works better. I find if you have a whole variety of a whole bunch of different stuff, these labels are better. These 30 labels, again, they come from Uline, obviously. They make it easier turning out the barcodes. Like I said, your different size poly bags, and you're good to go. You don't even need to use a lot. You could use Ziploc bags at first if you want. I don't think it looks as good. I would stick to the poly bags. But that's how I do board games. Hopefully you guys learned something from it and can carry on. Oh, another note. If you get board games that have missing pieces, don't just discard the game or assume it's no good. What I'll do is I'll set them aside, especially like a Disney Scene It. I'll set that aside if it's missing a few figures or some cards. And then, you'll come across another Disney Scene It that's not quite as complete, and you can make a complete one out of those two and set the other one aside again for when you need parts and sell the complete one on Amazon. Or you can part them out on eBay. People make really good money doing that. I never got into it. It's too much work. I don't have the space, and I don't want to be remembering all the different pieces and cards and manuals and what games they went to. So I put them on a shelf. I have a separate shelf for ones missing parts, and I'll save the ones that are valuable in case I find that other game that will complete it, like some of the Pokemon games, some of the Trivial Pursuits, some of the Scenits do fairly well, so I will keep those aside. When I get too many of them and I run out of space, then I might lot them up and sell them as is, missing pieces. I'll auction 3 or 4 off on eBay. I also have a few buyers. One buys them for different arts and crafts, and the other gentleman, he actually buys them and sells the parts on eBay and does well off that. He doesn't pay very much. I basically get back what I've put out for the games, which isn't bad though, because I'm not losing money. And I mean, in the grand scheme of things, like the SNL I bought, it's not worth anything. It'll only make $1, even if say I lose $5 on it. In the grand scheme of things, on all these board games, I'm still gonna make a few hundred. So try not to dwell on the fact that you're gonna lose $3 on this game, because that $30 you paid, say at that garage sale or at that thrift store to get those 10 games, is gonna turn into 300, 400 plus, depending on the games you get. So I kind of try to look at it as a big total like that, and I count my losses, get rid of the ones like that SNL one, and then just move on to the next thing and don't dwell on it, because I mean, time's money, right? You don't want to be wasting your time thinking about it, getting angry. Just, it's part of business. Get on to the next thing and just keep listening going. But hopefully all that helps. Hope you guys like the video. If you do, give it a thumbs up. If you don't, give it a thumbs down. Let me know in the comments if you want to see different sort of content, or what you guys want to see, or if I should do anything different. Thanks for watching though, everyone. Bye.